veteran population right now is just about 1% nationwide. And 1% is, people say, well, that's a pretty good number. Well, that's really not. And what people don't realize is that 1% nationwide is a lot of females.
Right, exactly.
And people don't understand that. They don't consider women as veterans, a lot of them, which is wrong.
It's wrong. They serve the country too. They went out and, and give their life on the line and fought in wars and things like that. So there's a lot of young female veterans in this area. You may have dependent claims that you might not even know about.
They will, because the women, and like I said, women and the younger generation is what I'm gearing myself towards, because I want them to receive the same thing that men has over the years.
Right.
Because the women are in combat now. They do the same thing as we did 40 years ago. They're doing the same thing.
Right. And a lot of people, well, my grandparents, they instilled in me a pride in our country, because they stood for the red, white, and the blue. They was willing to die if it took it or whatever. And they come back with Purple Hearts, the Silver Cross, the star and everything in the world. And they instilled into us that they had a code and a creed in the Army or the Navy or wherever, that they would not leave a fellow soldier laying wounded.
You don't leave your wounded behind.
Right.
That's the one thing that we all learn. And there is a bond between veterans that nobody will ever understand.
Exactly.
It's the old saying goes, if you haven't walked in my shoes, you don't know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. And that's the way we need to be after the battle.
That's when we come back, that's what we need to do. Regardless if I've got a son that was served in Iraq, and I didn't serve in Iraq, I was in Vietnam. But the thing is, it's the same dirt.
Right.
That's the key I'm trying to get. It don't make no difference when you serve.
Exactly. And it's the same pride inside your heart and soul that will stand up for a country that you believe in. We believe in our country. We're willing to sacrifice. We're willing to go to war. And like I said before, a lot of young men and women, just this few years alone, in the last couple of years, have gave their life for this country. And we should be more appreciative of our veterans and the men and women in uniform every day.
We should be, and I think the attitude in the country has changed a whole lot. And we are starting to do that. We're starting to see that more and more.
Right.
But we need to keep going.
Exactly.
Our country's in financial dire in a lot of ways. We're in a lot of stress here, but it's still the greatest country there is.
Exactly. Bringing up 9/11. When 9/11 happened, the Army and the forces was there. Even the veterans was there.
Yeah.
We bond together at one common cause.
That's what a lot of people don't understand, that when we're in trouble, we can fight them. It's like brothers and sisters. You can fight. But when trouble comes, it's like all the pieces fall together.
Right.
And 9/11 was a good example. I can tell you exactly where I was at when that happened. And I was angry when that happened. And if I could have went back in, I would.
Right. Exactly.
And I wasn't the only one. There's a lot of veterans that I know had the same idea, and some of them did go back in.
Right. I was talking with a veteran one time, and he said the most thing that is in his heart is being appreciated for his service.
I think that's all any of us ask. We don't. Everyone I know, we don't consider heroes. We're not heroes. We all done jobs.
Right.
We all had jobs to do. But it's nice when somebody comes up and shakes your hand.
Yeah.
The Vietnam parade that we had a couple years ago is a good example, because it actually gave Vietnam veterans the recognition we all deserved. And when somebody comes up, I had a lady come up and she just says, I want to thank you.
Right.
And people don't know what that means to any veteran.
It means so much.
When you're thousands of miles from home, you're in a situation beyond your control, and unless you've been there, you don't know what's going on. And when you come back home, you're isolated, you feel alone and everything else, but when somebody actually thanks you and recognizes you as a veteran, then your heart flutters in.
Exactly, exactly. And people don't realize, how much they suffer and how much they go through, and willing to go all the way for what they believe in, for what you believe in.
Well, that's why we go into the military to begin with.
Right.
Because I'm like you, I was kind of distilled and raised to believe, in the country. Your country came first. And, and I was willing to die for my country. Any veteran that signs that contract.
Right.
Because it's a contract. And when you sign that,